What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Pinned comment. Best promotion they've got with Weeble. And I gotta say, man, I'm blown away. I got a video coming up later. It's a premiere. Recommend you guys watch it. Talks about how I feel like EA is trying to turn you against me, divide the community. They've already destroyed this football game. And I wish I had this tweet. I wish I had this when I made that video, because this, to me, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's just flat out moronic. It shows me that a gameplay producer has no concept of his game, no understanding of his players, and honestly can't even connect the sport of football to what he is supposed to be producing. Now, before you think that's harsh, and before you type that Clint Oldenburg was an NFL practice lineman, I want you to understand what's being said here and why this is being said. Clint is saying the average score per team in online head-to-head play in Madden 22 is 24 points per game. That's almost exactly the same as the NFL 2020 average of 24.7 points per game. He's making a direct connection to real football, and he's using this to justify them not making improvements to the zone coverages after various YouTubers, NFL players, just about anyone that's played this game for the most part, has called them out on having flawed zone defense. His way of rationalizing not fixing the game is that the average score equates to real-life football. But what he is not taking into account, which astonishes me, is that an NFL game, we all know, is 4 15-minute quarters. Online head-to-head Madden is not. It also has an accelerated clock. So Madden roughly plays 28 minutes as opposed to 60. And this guy is sitting here hoping you don't know that or realize that, hoping you don't understand that, and saying, wait a second, our game is realistic. Look at how close the score is. This is the data that they're using, all the data they have, right? They could sit here and say, listen, run-heavy teams are run-heavy, pass-heavy teams are pass-heavy, blitz-heavy defenses are blitzing. No. What do? Lowest common denominator. Let's look at the points. We're going to use the points to validate and justify our game and not fixing it. The time is not the same. When the time is not the same, you cannot use averages properly. This is, as much as you guys think that I'm too hard on Clint and crew, this is elementary. This is like 6th grade stuff. If you go in to your elementary school with a report where you're comparing two things and you don't compare two things equally in their time, you're going to fail. Right? If you go in and you compare how fast two animals eat, and you let one animal eat for a half an hour and the other animal eat for 10 minutes, and you conclude that the animal that ate for 30 minutes ate more, you're getting an F. Do you understand what we're doing here? Let's talk about comparing things, Clint. Let's talk about an NFL simulation game, EA Sports. There were 3,414 penalties assessed league-wide in 2019, just 85 off the record in 2015. But in 2020, the same year we're using the points from, there were 584 fewer penalties assessed. It was the fewest penalty since 2008. There was an average of 13.4 penalties per game for 114.5 yards in 2019, dropped to 11.2 per game, 97.4 yards in 2020. EA, I know that you don't have referees on the field, but if you want to use data, if you want to show us simulation football, why aren't you showing us these numbers? You don't even have all the penalties in your game. This is something that gamers would want to see as holding true to life. But instead, lowest common denominator. Let's look at how many points are being scored and try to fabricate to the NFL, to the media, to people who don't think what we're actually comparing isn't the same, that we are making simulation football, that we are headed down the right path. Let's justify our own poor product and the inability we have to fix it by showcasing a random number and saying that because of this, we feel comfortable and confident not doing anything. It's why your game will never get better. This is why nearly any competitor in the marketplace should be a major concern. This is why it's harder every single day to sit and defend this game. Because when you have somebody working on a game that thinks this way, and more importantly, thinks you are dumb enough to believe this dribble, I will always be able to be back in the week, or in this case, in about 2 hours, with more commentary.